Welcome everyone to another AHA tutorial. I'm really glad you're all here today. In this session, we're going to talk all about the new AHA Dashboards functionality. So with dashboards like the ones you see on my screen, you can combine multiple reports into a single view to track all of your KPIs from. So they're a really incredible way to look at your product data from different angles, and also a great way to share the full story with others that are invested in your work and curious about the impact it's having. So the concept behind dashboards is actually pretty simple. They're really just a collection of different AHA views you've saved that you pull together and arrange. But you'll see as we go along here that dashboards can get quite visually impressive and involved. So as we get into the examples I'm going to share, if you notice some more detailed reports and wonder how we got them that built out, just remember that you can always import more data into AHA from spreadsheets or other tools as you bring additional teammates on board or start new projects. And our customer success team is always here to help you with the process of building out data in AHA as well. So today we are going to be building 3 different dashboards that are each really useful for tracking progress in the main areas you work on as product managers. We'll start with building a strategic dashboard for evaluating the progress of different business initiatives. This is a really great one to share with your leadership team. Then we'll work on a features dashboard to track delivery metrics and see how the team is performing. It's a good view for discussing progress in team meetings and with the other teams you work closely with, like engineering. And then last but not least, we'll take a look at an ideas dashboard for analyzing customer feedback. This one is a super helpful way for product managers to keep track of ideas and how quickly they respond to them. So that covers our 3 dashboards: strategy, features, and ideas. And then there are 3 key concepts that will be helpful for building any dashboard in AHA. These are panels, polish, and present. So we'll start out with panels as the first step because adding report panels is how you start building out your actual dashboard view. Then we'll cover how to polish your dashboard view to bring those important metrics into focus by adjusting your panel layout and updating your panel titles and views. And lastly, present, we'll talk about how you want to present or show your dashboard externally if you decide to do so. So that is panels, polish, and present for the 3 steps we'll be going through to build out each dashboard today. So let's jump into AHA and get started. So from the home page in our example Fredwin cycling account, I'm going to open up the Roadmaps tab and then click on this new Dashboards option. And that will bring me to a list that's filtered to just display my saved dashboard views. And this is where I'll go to create a new dashboard as well. And from here, if I'm still in report building mode or just exploring my different options, I can click into this example reports tab and see some of the different visual options by record type or by report type here to see what's available to me. But back in this dashboard is where we'll get started. If you're following along at home, you can create your own dashboard right from here too. So let's start creating our first dashboard for strategy. We'll use this one to show our progress against the strategic initiatives we set out for the second half of the year. This could be really helpful for you when you're updating your stakeholders on progress. And we're going to be building this first one using several of these Fredwin strategy reports I have saved. So first, let's click on this big blue Create New Dashboard button. And remember, our first step is panels, which are really fundamental to how dashboards work. So panels, as you'll see, are like little mini report views for your dashboards. You can include any of your saved roadmaps, list reports, pivot tables, or charts as a panel in your dashboard. And then when we add a report to the dashboard as a panel, it does make a special copy of this report. Then you can easily edit it separately without impacting your original report. So you can actually add up to 20 different report panels here, but I find that depending on the contents of your reports, between about 3 and 7 panels is usually a pretty good number to work with. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of scrolling. So I clicked that Add Panels button, which opened up this nice modal you see on my screen right now. And you'll see that this top option here is to add an existing report from a saved view that you have. And then you can also add example panels below too to instantly pull in a popular AHA view. So we'll cover how these work in just a moment, but first let's add those saved views since I already have a couple of strategy reports in mind. So I'll open up the search here. And if your team is anything like ours and you have a bunch of different reports saved in your account, it can be helpful to use these filters to find exactly what you're looking for. I know for this one, I'm looking for an initiative's progress roadmap. I want this view to just clearly show how far along we are with the strategic initiatives that I know our stakeholders really care about. And then I have a couple more too. The next view I have saved that I want to add is a chart. So again, filtering from the panel modal here. This chart is for features planned by initiatives. So I'm going to select that one. And of course, if you inadvertently select the wrong report, it's really easy to just delete that panel, go back, add a new one, make sure it's the right one. So this is a nice chart to show how our planned work is dispersed across those big initiatives. And then the last panel I want to add is actually a list report of our budget. So we can provide some more specifics around the planned cost for each initiative. Just going to type budget into the search here. There's the report I'm looking for. So you'll see how these panels just keep populating below as we add them. Don't worry, we'll fix that in our polish step now. All right, so I have my main strategy reports that I want to share with executives. Now they're all in one place, so when I share this, our stakeholders can check in on our progress at any time. Now let's work on our polish step. I think the most obvious place to start here is this truncated roadmap. So I'm just going to pull this panel all the way across my screen here. So now we can see the full initiatives across the course of the year. Then if we scroll down, I can drag this initiatives budget panel up a bit like that and pull these up here just a bit. All right. So this is looking pretty good, and I actually have a little bit of space here if I wanted to include another report. And I think, you can see the related goals to our initiatives here, but it could be nice to have another panel that shows, each individual goal and the success metrics we set for those. I remember seeing our first example report for goals that looked like it could be just what I'm looking for here. So let's go back and take a look at how this works. Add panel, but now instead of using an existing report, I'm going to pull in this goal status example panel and see what that looks like. So add that to my dashboard here. Again, it goes on the bottom just by default, but I'm going to drag it over to this empty slot. Okay, great. This one is actually fitting in really nicely. Now I can see my goal success metric and the status for each goal. So then when I kind of see the goals my initiatives are tied to up here, I can take a closer look at what's involved in those below. All right, so that example panel worked out well for us this time. But say I don't find exactly the report I'm looking for in the example panel and I need to build a new report. So for anyone new to reporting in AHA, this is no big deal. You can actually just go right up to this plus icon here and open the report builder. So this breaks report building down into really logical steps. You can start building your report based on record type here, or you can start by the report layouts. What kind of visual do you want? You can't break anything by playing around here. I think it's a great idea to click around and generate different report views if this is new to you. We're not going to get into kind of step-by-step how we're building each report that goes into the dashboard because that would make our tutorial a little long here. But if you haven't spent much time with reporting, I would recommend going back and watching our reporting tutorial. All right, so back to our lovely strategy dashboard. Our polish step with a brief interlude to show you the report builder is nearly complete. So we've arranged our panels nicely to fit within this view. And then these panel titles will default to the same title as the report you had saved, but you can easily change them by clicking the ellipsis here and checking Edit Panel. So goal status sounds a little generic. I can change that to product goals here in the title. and that will update right away. And then two other options for editing your panel are adding a legend. I'll show you what that looks like in the roadmaps view up here. So there's this check or uncheck box to show your legend. Another really important piece of polishing your panels is that you can customize the panel copy of your report. So just like you would edit any other saved AHA view, you can open this report up, and if you want to add a panel, maybe filter for a specific status of initiatives, I can show you what that looks like right now. Filter by status. Those are my suggested fields, that's handy. And then, let's see, it could be nice to just look at which initiatives have some progress and on track to really focus on what the team is working on right now. So let me update my roadmap. This will also be kind of a streamlined view for my dashboard. And then just make sure to save your changes here so that update goes through. And then if we exit out of this and refresh our dashboard, you'll see that now we are filtering for just kind of our active initiatives that the team is working on. All right, I would say this dashboard is looking pretty good. So our polish step is complete, and now we can move on to our third step, which is present. So when I open up the dashboard details by clicking on the title here, this is just going to default to the day and time you created the dashboard. So we'll definitely change this. I'll call it our Fredwin Cycling Strategic Dashboard. It's an easy title for the team to find. And then because this is a big picture dashboard that many will be interested in, I'm going to share it internally with, say, our whole Fredwin Technologies product line. I'll keep this as view only, so only I can edit this dashboard. We'll get into this in more detail in our next steps here, but know that you have 4 different options for publishing your dashboard. So you can add it to a presentation, you can share it as a web page, and you can export it to a PNG or PDF document. All right, so that was our strategy dashboard example. You saw how easy it is to add your own saved reports as panels and then fill in any gaps with an example report or building a new one. And then we covered how to polish up those panels and save and share the view. All right, so let's move on to our next dashboard, which is feature delivery. And we'll talk on this one about some of the different ways you can share it out. So I have a view that I've already started here that we'll walk through the different steps for. And this one is a really great dashboard for gauging progress on cross-functional work with teams like engineering and referencing it with your own team. So this could be a great dashboard to include in your team meeting slides. I have my features broken out by initiatives here, kind of my monthly velocity for features shipped, and then I get into feature status and release delivery down below. And of course, dashboards are interactive when you're looking at them right in AHA. So you can open up different features, look into the details on those, and kind of update them right from there. And as your team ships more features this month, they will populate on this bar right here. That kind of covers the different panels we have set up right now. I think those are already in pretty good shape. So let's go to polish and present. And I'm going to jump back and forth a little bit between these steps to really help you understand how to fine-tune your dashboards for when you're sharing them externally. So it is helpful to consider, like once you add your panels, do some polishing, just think through how you might be sharing a particular dashboard out, whether you're just going to be using it directly within the AHA application, in which case, like we saw, this is all interactive and you can easily scroll through longer reports here. Or perhaps you want to add it to an AHA presentation where you can include different AHA views and other images, or share it externally as a secure web page. So your data will automatically stay up to date in all of those sharing methods, so it's just a matter of determining which one best fits your needs. So if I do go ahead and make this a web page here, I can just go up to the share option, click this share as web page. This is already on, but if it wasn't, I would just check this box. If you're not seeing this share as web page option, just talk to your AHA administrator about enabling it. Let's take a look at this web page and see if there's any additional kind of polish we want to do before sharing that out. So in terms of how the panels are structured, I think this is looking pretty good. We have our kind of main visuals up at the top, and then we can scroll down for more details on the list reports below. One thing that would be nice on this one, I think, for some additional polish is to add in a legend on our pie chart. So let's go back and add that in, and then you can see how that instantly pops up on the web page. So I'm just going to edit panel and click this show legend box here. And now we can actually see what the names of all of those initiatives are. You may know the color right offhand, but others may need a refresher on red is mobile app upgrades. So now here, if we refresh our web page, okay, so now we have that legend showing up on that panel for our web page, or if we add it to a presentation as well. And then in a presentation view, I'm going to show you what that looks like here as well. We'll just create a new presentation for this purpose, and I'll take a look at that here. Okay, awesome. So this will populate your dashboard right on this slide. You can see my legend is showing up now, which is looking nice. And the other really nice thing is that I can set this to live update. So if I'm making any other tweaks to my panels to polish them, or if my team is actually actively adding data that will populate these reports here, that will show up right away in your presentation. So here, just know that dashboard panels do lock into a single pane, so you can't scroll through individual ones like we could on the web page or in the actual AHA application. But I'm not really worried about that because unlike a PowerPoint slide, in an AHA presentation, we can easily keep scrolling down to see the rest of our data. We would just drag the panels down in our dashboards. All right, so that was our featured delivery dashboard example. Hopefully you got some good inspiration for the types of reports you could include here, as well as some awareness around how to format your dashboard for how you'll be presenting it. Okay, so now we are ready for our third and final dashboard for ideas management. And with this last example, I wanted to do something a little different for you. I'm actually showing you the ideas dashboard that our own product team made to give you an idea of how we're using dashboards ourselves at AHA. So this one pulls all of our 3 steps together: panels, polish, and present, in a really excellent way. So obviously dashboards are a great tool for analyzing all kinds of product data, but this is just so nicely illustrated with ideas where you can pull in a bunch of variables to look at your idea delivery and trends. So here you can see the different panels the team created for ideas and just immediately glean a lot of useful information. So they calculated this metric here on the ideas SLA chart to show how quickly the team responds to new ideas. For us, it's just a little over 2 days. And then they included these list reports here to show the breakdown of ideas by status, as well as kind of what's trending and what was recently shipped. And then you can see kind of the breakdown of status up here and just the new ideas submitted daily this month. So really nicely arranged panels here. And then as for the polish step, you can see how thoughtful the team was in arranging these and clearly labeling them. We have some simple but important charts to scan on the left, and then can dig into more granular data on those individual panes as we move to the right. And something really helpful to understand for the polish step that will help make your dashboard shine is color. So here on the product team's ideas dashboard, we're seeing some really nice blues and greens and a purple that all complement each other really nicely. So they went well beyond the default colors in the chart. So I will explain where some of those came from because I think it's helpful to understand how you can set your own nice custom color palette for your dashboard. On the status count pivot, these are just pulling directly from the colors the team set for their ideas status workflow. So no kind of additional customization needed there. It's really just kind of setting your status colors to complement each other nicely. But then in this pie chart, we did customize the colors directly on the chart itself. So if you open up this view, again, it's just you can either edit panel or open the report right from there. And then if we go to the gear icon here and go to customize style, We can scroll down, and then under this series here, you'll see that they set these custom colors in the pie chart here. So if we click on this already exists, this color picker is where this nice purple color came from. And these are the default colors. So this is a really nice way to choose something more aligned with your brand that's different from these default colors and just makes your dashboard look really nice. And dashboards don't always have to be about presenting, though of course they're great for that. But this view is just really useful for the product managers individually to keep track of idea intake and discuss it as a team. So you can always create a dashboard for your own personal understanding and analysis of something. And that covers our 3 steps for the ideas dashboard here, and also wraps up the 3 dashboards we wanted to share with you today. I thought this view from our own team would be a great one to end with to give you some dashboard inspiration. And of course, we're always happy to help you create dashboards for the KPIs that are important for your team. So I hope this session gave you some great ideas for building your own dashboards. And thanks everyone, and take care.